In a farming village there lived a boy named Chintu, with his father, whom he called Bapu, who was a hard-working farmer. Now Chintu was a good boy in many ways, but he had one careless habit that troubled his father very much. Chintu wasted food. At every meal, Chintu would take far more on his plate than he could eat, and then leave half of it. He would nibble a roti and throw the rest away. He would scatter rice all about, and grumble, "Oh, I don't want this. Take it away." And great heaps of good food went into the bin, day after day, while Chintu turned up his nose. One evening, at dinner, Chintu did it again. He had asked for a big helping of rice, and then he ate only a little, and pushed the rest away, with half the grain scattered across the table and onto the floor. "I'm full." "No, not an issue. Throw the rest away." His father, Bapu, looked at all that good rice, thrown away and scattered on the floor, and he did not scold. Instead, he spoke gently. "Chintu, my boy, before you throw that rice away, will you come with me tomorrow morning? I should like to show you something." Chintu shrugged and said all right. So, very early the next morning, before the sun was even properly up, Bapu woke Chintu and took him out to the rice fields. And there, all that long day, Bapu showed his son exactly where rice comes from. First, the field must be plowed. And he showed Chintu how he walked behind the bullocks, hour after hour, turning the heavy, muddy earth under the hot sun, until his back ached and the sweat ran down. Chintu tried it himself for a few minutes, and found it was terribly hard work. Then, we must plant the seedlings, one by one by one. And he showed Chintu how he bent double in the flooded, muddy field, planting each tiny rice seedling by hand, thousands upon thousands of them, his feet in the mud and his back bent low for hours and hours. Chintu tried it, and his back soon ached dreadfully, and he had planted only a tiny patch. Then, day after day, week after week, we must water the crop, and weed it, and guard it from the birds, and pray for good rain and no flood. And he showed Chintu all the long, patient months of care. And then, when at last the rice is golden and ripe, we must cut it, and thresh it, and winnow it, and dry it, and clean it, all by hand before a single grain is ready to cook and eat. By the end of that long, hot, tiring day, little Chintu was exhausted, and aching, and filthy with mud, and he looked at his father, who did all of this every day for months and months, just so that there would be rice on their plates. And then Chintu thought of all the food he had so carelessly thrown away, day after day, all of it the fruit of such long and back-breaking work, and his face grew hot with shame. "Oh, Bapu, I never knew how very, very hard you work for every single grain of rice we eat. And I have been throwing it away by the handful. All your hard work, just thrown in the bin. Oh, how wasteful and how thoughtless I have been." And his father put a gentle, mud-stained hand on his shoulder. "Now you understand, my son. Every grain of rice upon your plate has cost someone hours of hard work, in the hot sun and the cold mud. And remember, too, that there are children, not so far from here, who do not have enough to eat at all, and who would be so grateful for even the food you throw away. To waste food is to waste all that hard work, and to forget those who go hungry. That is why we must never, ever waste a single grain." And Chintu never forgot that day. From then on, he took only as much as he could eat, and he ate every bite upon his plate, right down to the last grain of rice, with a thankful heart. And whenever he saw others being wasteful, he would tell them gently of his long day in the rice fields, and of all the hard work that lies hidden in every single grain. So remember, dear children, when you sit down to eat, think for a moment of all the hands that worked to bring that food to you, the farmer who plowed and planted, who watered and harvested, in sun and rain, and your mother or father who cooked it with love. Take only what you need, eat what you take, and waste nothing. For food is precious, every bite of it, and to waste it is to waste the hard work of many, and to turn your back on those who have none. Be grateful for every grain. This is today's story. We'll meet again in another interesting story.